Yeah, to YouTube. Just thought I'd show a quick video on how to rebuild a power steering pump off of a Ford XC, but it's sort of the same A, B, C. They all use this can style pump. I think some of the early Mustangs use it. The XYs have it. It's just the general Ford can style pump. So I've taken it off because this one howls like a fucking banshee. And I've started to notice it gets a bit warm when it's running, and it loses fluid out of, there's a main O-ring that goes around here, and on the front of the motor, excuse the light, but it sort of just leaks and pulls up on the bottom of the bracket, and I'm having to top it up every single time, which is as expected from 45-year-old pump. So I've taken it off the car. It's just 3 bolts, loosened the belt. And you can see it's leaking everywhere, so I've tried to just get a bottle here and sort of put the outlet in it and just sort of spin it until it's dry, but there's always going to be some in there, so you lay something down on your bench. The main can assembly itself is sort of pressed on with that O-ring, like I said, but it's held on with a 15/16 nut on the rear. So this fitting doesn't move, but the nut goes on and sort of sandwiches the back of this casing up, and that's what puts pressure on that O-ring. So basically I have just put it gently in the vise and cracked that nut, and I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand. I'll just turn some light on, get some more light going. That's a bit better. So crack that nut, wind that all the way off, and then sort of gently not pry it, but I get like a brass drift and just knock all the way around until this pops off. So I will do that now, and then I'll give you a look when I get in there. So I put it in the vise and I have cracked them all. They actually weren't that tight, it's just because I couldn't hold it because it was spinning. But I thought, since this was leaking out of the seal, I might just pop this actual O-ring out. Oh, there's your issue. Oh, so that is meant to be a rubber O-ring, and as you can see, yeah, there's a technical term for that O-ring, and it's fucked. So that's going to be going in the bin. And we'll get a new one. There's another, like a washer slash seal at the top here. It's got like a, well, it used to be rubber or some sort of seal. So we're going to pick that off. We can get it to come off. That one just seals between the back casing. Sometimes these are a pain in the ass with one hand. There we go. I spoke too soon. So that's the seal there. Like a little washer with a rubber on it. And now I'm just going to loosen and undo all these. So I'll set the camera back down. I'll crack all those. There's 4 of them in total. And then under this ring here, there should be like a gasket, but we'll pop it off and give you a closer look. This is the main pump housing split. So this is that gasket I was telling you about. It's like a paper gasket, and it just sort of goes between the casings. So a new one of those will be coming in the kit. And then what you want to do is separate this and just take note of when you take these out, which order they go in. They can be a pain in the ass, but basically when you take them out, I like to just sit them in the order of which they come. This next one you sort of want to take out as one big piece. This is your main rotary vane, so you can see they're the actual vanes in there, and they got springs and they get held in. There's nothing actually wrong with my pump assembly. That's fine. It's just not sealing, and that whining noise is like a cavitation you can hear with air coming in. But you just want to take this whole piece out as one, very carefully. It'll wiggle off. Might have to sit the camera down for this one, and I'll lift him off and give you another look. That's that. That comes off like that. This is just floating inside, so that's the rotary piece. They're the actual vanes on the spring, and they circulate in that housing. Just important to lay everything down the way it came. Then you'll have this casing here. Basically, this piece here is the one main unit. You'll have two dowels here. One of them comes out. The other one is fixed into the casing. Don't try and remove it. You will fuck it, and that will be game over. So give that a clean out. I'm just going to give this whole thing a bit of a clean out with some brake cleaner and a rag, and I'll show you where we're at. I've got it all apart. You might have seen I just knocked on the back of this with a rubber mallet. Basically this is the casing, so you've got the outlet, and in there, if I hold that up to the light, you've got like a filter screen. So I'm going to have a bit more of a go at cleaning that out. But basically what's in there, this is the top of the assembly. So this has two springs that just sit there like that, and this is basically your check valve. So that, well, yeah, it's your check valve. So you got your two springs, you've got your rod that sits in there, and then it sort of stacks on from there up. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to press this pulley off, which will allow me to pull this shaft out and clean in behind there, because in the snout of this pump there's a little a seal in the front there. This one's not leaking, but I'm pulling it out, so I'm going to replace it anyway, so everything's all new. But in terms of this actual pump itself, like everything looks okay. Like there's no, if I push this out a bit, you can see everything looks sort of okay. Nothing looks burnt or anything. It was purely just that whining noise from the little bit of air getting in through the seal. But like all these seals are rooted. Like on this check valve there's a seal. I don't know, I showed you just before, so that's meant to be an O-ring. That is a no ring anymore. So new kit comes with all those, new gasket, front seal. So I'll press that off, but you probably won't see that till the next video, because at the time of dismantling this I actually don't even have the kit yet, so it's on the way. You'll see it at the end of this video, but for me it'll be about a week. So we'll see you then.